Welcome back for today's Farm and Ranch News. And while the weather will not make up its mind here during the middle of April, feedlot operators made up their mind that they needed more money from the packers, and they got it this past week as the cash cattle market was expected to trade higher, and it did, creating a very bullish and optimistic tone in the marketplace. And those packers had to fork over the cash. Live cattle in the South were marked at $175. That's $5 higher than the previous week's weighted average and surpasses the previous high set back in 2015. Northern dress cattle traded at $290 in Nebraska, which is $11 higher than the previous week's average. And packers had no choice but to step up and pay the price as demand remains strong and slaughter pace needs to be maintained. Now, speaking of the packers, the Meatpackers and other companies in the food supply chain need to do a better job taking steps to ensure illegal child labor isn't being used in their operations, suppliers, subcontractors, or other vendors, according to Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack. He sent a warning in a letter to 18 of the nation's largest meat and poultry companies and advised the packing industry to take more action to ensure their supply chains are not using illegal child labor. This letter comes after a food sanitation company, Packer Sanitation Services, was fined $1.5 million in February following a Department of Labor investigation that found at least 102 children from the ages of 13 to 17 years old were working in hazardous occupations, often on overnight shifts, in at least 13 meat processing facilities across 8 states. Vilsack advised the packers to take steps in their supply chain to determine whether there was any illegal child labor being used.